everybody, it's Debbie here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, then thank you very much for joining me today. I'm really glad you decided to click on this video, and I hope you enjoy it. If you do, I hope you would consider hitting the subscribe button and joining my YouTube family. I think that would be wonderful, and then you can kind of check out my channel and see what I have to offer. And if you're a returning subscriber, so happy to have you back. I hope you enjoy this. I am working on a pair of Memorydex cards today. So I have some cardstock to make my backgrounds out of. This is just old packaging. I have a bunch of paper scraps and a couple sheets of paper. I have a whole basket of extra bits and pieces, and the theme is, I even have some of my Happy Planner sticker books with some pages marked of little items that I might choose to put on here. So this is a spring garden theme swap. You can see these colors are your first soft colors and little hits of springtime in your garden. So I'm just going to set them down there for 1 minute. I have a template. Now, I made this template just from a piece of cardstock. This is a nice heavy cardstock. I wish I had this to use all the time. It's amazing stuff. And what I've done is I measured 3/8 of an inch up so I could punch my holes at that. My holes are punched. The top of my holes comes to that 3/8 of an inch mark. Then I measured 1.5 inches in from this side, 1.5 inches in from this side, so that there's 1 inch in the middle, and that's my 4 inches. So these cards are 4 inches by 3 to 5 inches. You can play a little bit with your height, but you do want to make sure they're only 4 inches wide, because people keep them in boxes with little runners that they sit down on. They'll put them on a Rolodex so that they roll around, and you don't want the sides sticking out and hitting and impeding the progress when they're moving. So if that makes any sense, I hope it does. So I'm just going to take 2 pieces of this cardstock this is just Forever in Time. Yeah, it must have been from stickers or something like that. I'm not even sure what it was, but I kept it, of course. So I'm going to take my paper trimmer, and I'm going to put it up here, and I'm going to measure each one at the 4-inch mark. And get rid of my little bits, and then I can cut my holes. So because I have my template, this part is easy. I just put it on here like this. I take the hole that's in my punch, I put it on here, and I punch, and I punch right through those same holes. And then I just take my scissors and I'm going to open these up. So all I'm going to do is leave a little bit of an overhang and cut this hole nice and straight if I can, and make it not quite as wide as the circle so that it will stay on whatever the storage system is that the recipient uses. This is just my Memorydex card. Now, how do I want my top to go? I'm not exactly sure. But for right now, I'm just going through the stuff I've got piled up there. For right now, I'm just going to round my corners because I like that so much better. There. And set that back over there. So I'm going to work on this side, and the first thing I'm going to do is put some background paper on here. Now, do I want to use this? Oh, I want to use this for one of them. Definitely. So I'm going to cut. I've already used this for Obviously, I use this for planning because so let's lift this up and put this at the 4-inch mark. 4 inches. So I'm going to cut that. And then I'm going to glue it on here like this. Just like that. And then repunch my holes. Now, I repunch my holes every time I add another piece over them because you always need to have at least one side open to be able to see to do that. Now, which glue am I going to use? I'm going to use this. I'm going to use my Tombow broad tip. I'm just going to squeeze a little. I'm just going to put, I have a placemat here that I just throw up here and use it when I'm gluing sometimes so I don't get glue all over my table. So until I'm done gluing, I'm going to leave this up here. I'm going to go around and then I'm just going to do a little squiggle up each side to give it some nice adhesion. I'm going to take one of my cards and put it at the top and the sides. There. Just make sure I like it to be just perfect. There, I'm going to let that sit for a minute and I'm going to choose a piece of paper for this one. Almost liking this. I haven't used this on anything yet, but I'm thinking that this is kind of like grass, maybe. You know, kind of an illusion, of course, but I like it. I think it'll make a great background piece for adding other elements onto. And it's not as busy with just the stripes. I have my 2 cards. That seemed like a long, long process to get here. Now I want to decorate these for springtime. So I'm just going to pause you guys while I pop some stuff up here that I want to use for spring garden. So I've dug out some papers, sorted through them, took my time, and I've come up with color schemes for both my cards. So I think I want that one to go on the other one. So this one is predominantly pink and mint to match this. I'm going to add a few little pops of bright. I have right here, I have this green paper-backed jute. It's from a paper pad. It came on there were different colors of backed jute paper in a paper pad that I got for $4 from Dollarama. A great, great buy. And this green, oh my gosh, is a grassy garden, a front garden. And to me, spring garden isn't necessarily like your flower garden, or it could just be your garden, the little place that you go to sit outside with just a few flowers around. And yeah, so it could be that. So I think I want to put this little piece down here at the bottom. But to do that, I am going to use my hot glue gun. So I'm going to put this on this way. I'm just going to center it. I cut it a little bit shy on purpose because I kind of thought that if it stuck out, this is going to, it's going to fray and, you know, it'll be all over the place. So I have these. I'm taking these little pop dots off the back because, like, look, they just fall off. These are little stick flowers, fabric flowers. I got these, I think I got these at Dollar Tree. Actually, I'm pretty sure that I got these at Dollar Tree. And I got them in all different colors. Orange. So I'm going to put this here. So without the back, I can keep this a little bit flatter, which is perfect. And I'm going to kind of just put these in a triangle right here, just a little cluster. So I like that. I also want something up in this corner, a floral type, but I don't want more flowers. So that's where all these paper scraps come in. I am going to take, ooh, look at this. Look at this. So I'm going to take this little bit. I'm going to make myself a cluster. I'm just going to make myself a cluster. So I want that. I'm going to put, this is like a little runner piece, but it has these little flowers on it that are so pretty with bits of green. I have a little bit of what I want here now. And I do want to add a little bit of purple to this, just a little, because crocuses are my very first favorite flower that comes out of my garden in the spring. So I have these huge snow piles, and there. Has to be off there. So just a little flower like this. And then I'm going to glitter behind it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a little dot of glue on here, and I'm going to glitter behind it. So I want a little glitter. Then I want a little bit of gold sticking up here. I want that. Or I'm going to, as carefully as I can, I'm going to try to tear out this little palm leaf, just like this, just like that. So I have the whole leaf torn out, and that's going to be my little bit of gold sticking right out of there. So a little bit of glue on the point, because it's going behind. I don't have to tear it off. Just like that. I still want some of this. I love this little bit of green right there. Yes, I love that. Love that. So a little bit of this right here. Hide the straight line behind. So I just get that. And then a little bit of this purple coming out like that. Yes, so the little bit of purple is going on the back. But before I put that little bit of purple on the back, that's where I want this to go. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue like that, so I can lay this loosely in here like this, just like that. Then I can take this and put it like this. So a little bit of purple sticks out, maybe a little bit more. Maybe I need to turn this over. Yes, I need to turn this over. There, like that. Like that. So, oops, I've got a glue string stuck to me. So, a little bit here. And then like that. Just a little bit sticking out. Now I have maybe down here, kind of like a garden, up here, like this. I want that right there. I do want it up here, and I want it sticking above a little bit. like that. I don't want it sticking out the side, remember, because this is a Memorydex card, so I want it to be able to go through a roller or fit in a box. I don't know how the recipient stores theirs, so I don't want to make it so that it doesn't work. Okay, so now I have an idea for this. I saved my packaging right over there. I am going to look at these little bumblebees, and I think one of these needs to go on here, but I'm not sure. Oh, this one's carrying a little pink bucket. It's perfect. So it's perfect for on here. These are a little bit sticky, but I'm still going to put, I don't want stuff to fall off. I'm going to put this here and just set him above the grass. Just above the grass, like that. I love that this grass moves. That is really cool. So this little bee is getting ready to go out and do his daily thing. And I have this little buzz thought bubble. That I think he needs to have. Whoops. Wow. Right there. Just like that. So he's ready to go out and do his daily work. I think that's just a cute little tot. And I do have these little, they're on with these owls, and they're like a little daisy. There. And I kind of want them just spread out in the grass. These are like little wildflowers. There. So that's really pretty. I love this glitter, this glitter, this glitter. Yeah, it just makes it fresh and it pops. It just looks like the sun is shining on it with the reflection of the light. And I like that. I really like that. So I'm going to set this one aside and work on the other one. And I'm hoping the other one doesn't take me quite as long. So I really have an idea for this one already. I might use those and those and those. So let's get to it, shall we? This kind of has a vine look to the background, but this one I want to be predominantly yellow and purple flowers. So I've done the same thing. I'm going to use my grass again above the holes, and then the same thing, but I'm going to put these flowers up here in the top corner. They are so pretty. So I'm going to do them in the opposite corner of the other ones. These things are just, the glue on the back of them is just dried out, but these little fabric flowers are still so cute. Purple. I want some purples. I have these. Oh my gosh, aren't these pretty? So I have this. Look at this basket of daffodils. It's a sticker. So this whole basket of spring flowers right here. Right here. Yes, I am going to put it down there. Take the handle, the piece out of the basket handle. But I'm going to put some hot glue all the way around this, because the glue on this will just dry out and fall off. I don't want that to happen. I'm going to stick it right down there. Look at the butterfly. The butterfly in that basket is so, so pretty. So I think I'm going to fussy cut some of these wild yellow roses and put them in this top corner so that the yellow kind of carries around. But I'm going to fussy cut this. So I'll be right back. There, I kind of want to add this like a tab at the top. I think that's what I'm going to do. So I am going to put some hot glue on this, but I'm also going to put a little bit of wet glue, like that, just in a straight line. I'm just putting the wet glue in a straight line like that. Come on. That's such a tiny, tiny little hole to find to put that pin in. My goodness. So, put this down here and put it here, and I'm going to give it a really good push. Like that. There, so it's like a tab at the top. But if you see this wild rose, it actually has, where's my, there. So if you can see that, it actually has a little bee on it. It is really cute. So I like that. I love this paper that has this kind of minty green that has this writing. I'm going to try to take as little as I can from the top of this, just like this. And I'd like to put it right in here, like that, under that rose and under there. I wonder if I can get it in there. I'm going to have to wet glue it for sure to do that. So just a little bead of wet glue along there. And I'm going to slide this under the grass and over as far as I can, and then lift this up on top of it. I just love that little bit of gold script, and then I'll cut this off. There. So it's coming. It's coming. I don't always start from my back and work my way up. Sometimes I start from the top and try to work my way down. There. And I think this butterfly right here has to be in here as well. And these are violets. And violets are one of the first things to me that come into the garden in the spring. So I want to put it in such a way, that it's kind of layered like that. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use wet glue again on here. It's got sticky on it, but it won't stay. It won't stick. I mean, it will. It'll stick for a bit, but it's not going to stick long term. And I want it stuck long term. There. This is a busy little garden, this one. There's a butterfly here on this. I love that this rhinestone in the middle of this daffodil matches the ones on these little plaid daisies. I love that there's a little bee here, and that I put another butterfly, a little bit of script. It's kind of a collage piece coming together. Just a collage piece coming together. I actually think, if this can come up still, that I want to put a little bit more of this on here. So because I've done that and slipped it underneath, I am going to glue this. Just put it down, and then I am going to trim that even with the side. There. That's better. Kind of evens it. It brings this over here. I am just so in love with this that I kind of want it on here too. Like, it's got the yellows in it, but it's just got that teeny tiny little wee bit of purple. And if I put it down here in this corner, it doesn't impede the holes. And I think I can, and it leaves the grass. The grass there is cool. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna put my glue right on here so that it sinks into the burlap a little bit. And then I'm going to just tuck it in such a way that it doesn't impede the bottom corner at all. So I feel like I want something around here. This one has more on it, but this one feels more done to me. This one feels like it still needs something. And this one doesn't. The florals in the background of this one kind of finish it, but the stripes, I knew working on the simple background, I'd have to put more on. That's not one. This one has this book. This is the, I think it's the Farmhouse book. Farmhouse. And I really like this sticker. And I don't know if it'll fit on here or not. It's so tiny, but it's still, maybe I'll use this one. It has to be just perfect. There. It just says your heart knows the way. And because he's on his way, I think that fits. So your heart knows the way. Done. So my other thought was to put, I have these little red rain boots. And I thought that they would look cute on here, but I actually think that these are pretty just the way they are. So I'm going to clean up my mess and put everything away. I'm going to write on the back, make a little note, and I am going to get these ready to mail. So I'm done. And I had to take a little break when I finished and go get dinner ready and stuff like, you know, just ordinary everyday stuff like that. So I came back and got them ready to mail out. And this is how I am going to present them. So I've taken just a piece of thin, it's just a really thin, cheap cardstock, the kind you get in a paper pad, you know, for next to nothing. And I've put a little tiny piece of washi tape on the bottom of each one, just a little bit here in the corner so that they won't slide around in the mail once I get them into the mailer. I've got a bubble wrap mailer to put them in. And yeah, so this is what they look like, and I'll give you a close-up. That little bee is like satiny, so it kind of has a bit of shimmer to it. That little bit of sparkle from the gemstones and that little piece of glitter paper. And look at that little reflection from that gold leaf. Just that little wee bit of gold leaf and writing right there in the cluster. Right there, see that? That is just so pretty. It's really reflective. And then it says your heart, and this is kind of a rose gold. Your heart knows the way. And yeah, I also added, I think after I went off camera, I added this little bee trail just with my black pen. So this is the other one. I just love that basket with the narcissus and daffodils a little bit of, there's even a little purple crocus, my favorite flower in there. I think it's my favorite because it's the first one you see in spring, always the first one I see in my garden. So then I've got this little cluster of, you know, purple flowers, and these are the spring flowers as well. I added, after I went off camera, I just added this little bee. I kept thinking that this one little spot in the middle needed something, and that's what it needed. It just needed one more little bee. So, and then there's this butterfly, this butterfly, did I just call this a bee? This butterfly, and then this little bee that's in the flowers here. So I love them, just absolutely love them. But to present them, I've decided that I was going to gift a couple of extras, and because all that little bits of paper was laying out on my desktop anyway, I decided to do a couple of hidden paper clips. And hidden paper clips are just, I have a video, I might link that down below, but hidden paper clips are just such an easy way to create an embellishment that you can clip onto something, or a bookmark that kind of stays in the bookmark or in the book and doesn't stick up from the top. So these are just little clusters, and what I did was I just did a hidden paper clip in a little 2-inch circle, punched circle, and then made my clusters on top of them. So that's how I will mail it. I'm just going to take a plastic bubble wrap, you know, the bubble wrap mailers. I'm going to take one of those and slide this in there. It'll be well protected, and yeah, I hope she's happy with it. I know I'm certainly happy with the way that they turned out. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Every thumbs up helps my channel. Every single like, even dislikes. If you don't like it, make sure that you let me know that too, because every bit of interaction helps my channel grow. And if you would like to comment down below, do you like the pink one? Is this one your favorite, or is this one your favorite? Let me know. So if you're not already a subscriber, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I would really love to have you join me for future videos. And until the next one, bye-bye for now, and happy crafting.